Hi, welcome to Cyberwooo, a cybersecurity podcast created by me, George Jones, with an attempt to raise the level of cybersecurity by means of educational shorts. What is cybersecurity? What and why it matters to everyone? I think it does, and I've seen it in private and business life. Cybersecurity is defined as the practice of defending computers, basically keeping the bad guys out of your turf, right? But it's not limited to just computers, right? Cloud platforms, servers, devices, networks, Google, Facebook, you name it. Anything that's internet connected or network connected is potentially vulnerable. I mentioned the CIA triad because it's a pretty generic and one of the first frameworks for cybersecurity. The CIA triad consists of confidentiality, integrity, and availability of data. Basically, we're using computers and applications to make basic inputs and outputs. Data, pictures, photos, finance. You get the picture. It's critical because of the growing threat landscape. That's what all the gurus call it. And it's just a fancy way of saying there's always something new and innovative in the form of a malicious attack that targets people, places, things, technologies, you name it. And most prevalently, these attacks are originating from malicious email. And in the threat intelligence world, there's a thing called social engineering, right? And cybersecurity practitioners call them TTPs, tactics, techniques, and procedures. How it impacts individuals, how security can protect you, and some of the harm when you're not really up to snuff. Identity theft, privacy loss, financial harm, stress. You lose your identity online, basically there's access to all of your personal data, all your accounts, social media, pictures, money, credit cards, you name it. And the intent is fraud typically. Privacy loss, as mentioned before, you don't want all of your pictures, even closed caption TV, you don't want that streaming around on the internet. Financial harm, needless to say, if you can't recover your money, it's gone. What does that do? Emotional burden, stress. Takes a long time to get over, and nobody wants to go through that. At the end, we'll have a couple of tips on what you can do to protect yourself. The business impact, this can be a little bit more catastrophic and costly, especially if you are the business owner, right? You're making widgets, and now you can't make widgets for a week. How much does that cost? Not just in loss of productivity, but your reputational damage. If you're regulated, ITAR, Sarbanes-Oxley, FINRA, these institutions can face fines, and your customers will probably seek services and products elsewhere. So, to the meat, what you can do. It's pretty simple. Think before you click. You get the email, you're not sure, don't click. Better off being late than exploited. Update your software. This, I heard a good idiom about this, like cell phones, for example. Once or twice a month, your computers get updated too, but your cell phone, it's like it's always broken. Update, software updates, update this, update that. Nothing is ever really fixed, and that's vulnerability management. Strong passwords. Why? Harder to crack. Don't keep the same password for everything. Your bank account, Facebook, work, that's a vulnerability. And most importantly, multi-factor authentication. Probably the biggest, if we look at security versus convenience, probably the biggest inconvenience if you're in a hurry and you have to log in, get the text, put the code in, swipe your fingerprint. This is important because it validates your identity to you, right? So don't be just you. Put your cape on and be a super you. Dad joke. Thank you for watching. I'm George Jones, and hopefully I'll reach into my dada base in future podcasts and tell some more corny jokes. Thanks for watching.